Friends, on behalf of Higher Education Forum and the allied institutions, particularly ISTD Navi Mumbai and ISTD Islampur, we extend all of you a very, very hearty welcome for this very, very important discussion on a relevant and contemporary topic. As we all of us know that the NEP 2020 came up, NEP 2020 is also in implementation phase, and lots of changes have taken place both in the school education as well as in the higher education. Maybe some states a little bit ahead of the implementation of the others, but already by and large in many of the states, many of the phases of the implementation have already taken place. Now, whether this will lead to change in the education system paradigm is yet to be seen. But we as academicians, we as independent academicians, let me put it that we have a strong belief that if implemented properly and the right spirit, it may have uh, a very, very significant change in the direction and the course of the Indian educational system in terms of the structure, policies, and everything. Now, to talk on this particular topic, we have a very, very eminent personality. We cannot get a more eminent person than Dr. Bhimraya Metri. He need not or he does not require introduction from an audience like us. But still, for the sake of introduction, I will just introduce him. It will take the entire 1 hour to introduce him. He's an outstanding academician. He's a researcher. He's a teacher. He's a consultant. He's an academic guru in all senses of the term. He has had a very exchequered career, academic career. He had been the dean of the pioneering institution. He has been with the IMI. He has been with the MDI. He has been with the IM Trichy as the director for a period of 3.5 years. And then he is now currently the director of the IM Nagpur for last around 5 years or so. And during around these 5 years of stay, he has made a significant transformation in the landscape of the Nagpur. I am Nagpur. If you whether you look at the academic contribution in terms of the placement, in terms of the NIRA, RF ranking, whatever you see the parameters. A recently very big article also came on the transformation of the I am Nagpur during the tenure of the Bhimraya Netri. And Bhimraya Metri Sahib is a very, very close friend of Higher Education Forum. So when I requested, sir, that we have to take, he told, despite all the responsibility he has got, he will take a session. And therefore, he is with us. So on behalf of all of you, I extend a very, very hearty welcome to you, sir. And the floor is open to you, sir, now.
Thank you very much, sir. Respected Dr. Sen Gupta, sir, who is an eminent academician and mentor for all of us, a very senior academician, and he has seen the higher education of India for many, many decades, more than 5 decades, and all the distinguished participants, those who are on behalf of Higher Education Forum and ISTD, Navi Mumbai and Islampur. I welcome all of you for this session. And the topic given to me by Sen Gupta Sahib is NEP 2020 and its implementation, its impact on excellence in education. Now, in coming July, next month, 29, we are going to complete 5 years of announcement of NEP 2020. So in last 5 years, as a part of NEP, we have initiated number of programs and also many changes we have done in higher education. But in nutshell, NEP 2020, I must say, is a real agent for transformation in total education, right from primary, secondary, and higher education. So if you see the structure, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So 5 basically 3 plus first and second standard, then 3 plus 3 plus 4, it all together up to 12. And then probably the higher education come into picture, under graduation, and then PG and PhD come into picture. But if you see in last 5 years, number of announcements have been made by University Grant Commission, number of changes have been made by All India Council for Teacher Education, All India Technical Education, and also National Council for Teacher Education, National Board of Accreditation, National Assessment of Accreditation Council, number of changes are happening in all regulatory and quality assurance products. But if you see, some of the states are implementing NEP as a state, and within the state, again, different institutions are implementing NEP at a different degree. And if you look at just to recap, NEP 2020, according to National Education Policy 2020, there are going to be four types of institutions, universities. One is Meru Multidisciplinary Education and Multidisciplinary and Research Universities. Then Comprehensive Teaching University, largely in undergraduate education. And the third one is the degree granting college. And fourth one is basically you can talk about the cluster university. So basically, Meru, those who are highly into research and larger undergraduate education, there also will be research, but not in larger extent, but largely in teaching. And degree granting colleges where the minimum strength has to be 3,000. But if you look at the recent announcement by University Grant Commission, the deemed universities, again, deemed university, one is a normal and another one deemed university is a distinct university. So these are the new circular, basically promote the colleges to get into a deemed university or distinct deemed university in a specialized area. Okay. So these are the changes basically as a part of NEP announced by the various regulators. Similarly, NEP 2020, if you see some of the features in NEP 2020, if you talk about the main focus, a multidisciplinary and holistic education. So multidisciplinary and holistic education, and in that also there is a ABC academic bank of credit and multiple entry, multiple exit, and Anusandhan National Research Foundation, and also the mention of 17 Sustainable Development Goals, global citizenship, learning to learn, as well as there is also mention about building a character, and also a person who is going through NEP education is employable. And basically, the overall in nutshell, in one line, if you want to say, to build the holistic human being to take care of all living beings. So those are some of the aspects of National Education Policy 2020. And as a part of that, the governance structure of the universities earlier, we talk about Senate, we talk about Executive Council and various board of studies, all those things. And as a part of NEP, now structure is going to be very, very simplified. And in that, there is a board of governance and there is academic council. Academic council is headed by the head of the institution, whether it is a vice chancellor or director, and the board of governance there, that is the apex body in place of Senate and Executive Council. So these are the changes basically mentioned as a part of National Education Policy 2020. Now, if you see all those things, and if you look at the NEP and how impact is going to be there, and 2020 it is announced and it is expected to 2020 it was mentioned that NEP implementation will continue till 2035. Means 15-year period. Somebody takes the admission in 2020, 35. First NEP person will get graduate. That was the intention to mention 2035. At the same time, if you look at NEP 2020, whatever the development, whatever the changes, whatever the modification as a part of NEP, it is going to come in various education system, particularly in higher education. Then probably you may look into that the aspects of change as a part of that to implement the people, those who are going to implement basically your faculty members, the deans, vice chancellor, pro-vice chancellor, they are part of it. So therefore, University Grant Commission introduced 111 Madan Mohan Malviya Training Centers, MMTC. So 111 MMTCs, and also IIT, I am sure, authorized to conduct the training program how to implement NEP. They come out with 9 modules. So in 9 module, one is about interdisciplinary, second one is about inclusiveness, which was headed by Sudha Murthy, and third one is digital transformation, and one is about academic leadership, another one is about the basically leadership and governance. So like that, 9 modules introduced, and all faculty members, it is expected to undergo in 2 years, 15 lakh teachers in higher education space coming under University Grant Commission, all will be trained. That was introduced almost 1.5 years back, so that 15 lakh teachers will be trained in 2 years, and almost that process is going on, and it is on the verge of completion. Similarly, the institutions like IITs and Institute of National Importance, INIs, faculty members there, and also some of the central universities and private universities, government came out with the another model, that is nurturing future leaders, because you need a large number of leaders to implement NEP. That program initiated by Ministry of Education, as a part of that, various IITs and IIMs they conduct, and NAGPUR is part of it. So every quarter, one program. Earlier it was 30 capacity. Now it has been extended since last year to 40. Every quarter, one program is conducted. In that, 50% from the central university, IIT, IIM, and then state universities. Maximum 2 from each state university, and also private university posts are kept. So this is how 40 composition they came out, and that programs are running in different INIs, particularly IITs and IIMs. So these are all the initiatives I'm talking about from the regulatory side and Ministry of Education. Now, when you look at these all the the NEP related initiatives by the Ministry of Education and regulator, the purpose, probably somebody may ask, why do you need multidisciplinary? Why do you need holistic education? Now, if you see entire world today, the holistic education is playing a very, very significant role in coming years, because till date, our education system was rigid, and today rigidity is stupidity. So, and as a part of NEP, agility has been built. Agility means any student who wants to pursue his dream or her dream, they can pursue their dreams, and there are no boundaries. So therefore, you might have seen one circular from University Grant Commission, one person can pursue 2 degrees at a time. Earlier it was not there. Earlier, even though somebody does, there used to be a question mark. But now one can get into 2 degrees. You can pursue your dream as a part of agility, flexibility. And also somebody can do, in even if you take a technical education, somebody is doing a mechanical engineering degree, that person can also specialize in economics. Or somebody is doing a degree in civil engineering, he can also get into AIML, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Somebody is doing in some other degree, but he can entirely get into other degrees. So major minors have been introduced as a part of agility, as a part of multidisciplinary. So these are all the changes, so that students, those who are undergoing the education, they should get the multidisciplinary education, and at the same time they should also holistic human being. Holistic human being means to build the all-round personality. Not only they have to develop the knowledge in the area of their interest, that is a domain knowledge, they should also develop as a holistic human being, because holistic human being is extremely important, because holistic human being means they see the things in 360 degree. They have to be all-rounders. So they should also get into various other areas other areas in the sense that they should get into a sports, they should get into yoga, they should get into yoga. Yoga and yoga again, one is mental exercise, one is physical exercise. And they also do various performance art related things, music, dance, and many cultural activities. They're all part of holistic because otherwise only focusing on domain knowledge. So that is basically we call it as a science. But to become a holistic human being, two important aspects. The person has to be, dealing with science and dealing with art. Art means I'm not talking about BA. So science is the domain knowledge, and art is all about other than the domain knowledge. You have to develop such a way that you can deal the things, you can deal the unknown things very systematically. So that part is called as art. And holistic human being, basically, people have to probably develop more, expertise dealing with art. How to deal with the disruptions, how to deal with the change, how to deal with the politics, where there are people, there is a politics, and how to deal with the uncertainty and how to manage the people in the organization. So these are all art part, how you can, understand the interpersonal relationship, how to deal with the people. And if something new comes, how to handle that. All those things basically part of the art elements, basically connecting the black dots, connecting the unknown points so that you can understand, you can make a meaning, you can work on that. So this part is called as the art. So therefore, our students have to expertise, develop expertise in art as well as science parts. Sometimes, normally till date in education, we have provided almost 80-90% specialized education. Maybe a engineering, maybe a civil, mechanical, electrical, electronics, all those things. Maybe a science, physics, chemistry, math, biology. Maybe in art, in English, or probably we talk about, even history, all those things. So these are all the domain knowledge we provided right from, 11, 12 to the graduation, post-graduation. These are all specialized area domain knowledge we have provided. But how to make use of that domain knowledge in practical life, in the real life, because leading the life is much bigger than the, doing the job. Leading the life is much bigger than what money we earn. That is a materialistic goal. So probably in professional courses, whether it is engineering, medical, law, we focus more than 90% on domain knowledge. But how to make use of domain knowledge, you have to take the help of art. So therefore, in NEP 2020, the focus has been a student has to be an all-rounder. And all-rounder comes out of the art, not from the science. So therefore, 80% students have to, develop expertise in the area of art, and around 20 to 25% he should get into, he or she should get into a domain knowledge. It means to lead the life, you have to be a very, very, your mind has to be a growth mindset. Growth mindset comes out of the art. So therefore, in NEP 2020, the focus has been how to, make the individual as a agile person. Agile means you are flexible enough to accommodate the changes. You are flexible enough to accommodate the shocks of disruptions. So how to get into this flexibility? That is nothing but a growth mindset instead of fixed mindset. Till date, our education was only making us a specialist, Tanga wala Boda. So we are only focusing on that part, and other than that, something comes, we were not having the answers. So therefore, how to make people more agile, and agile is nothing but more agile, and also something unknown comes, how to deal with that. So those are all part of the growth mindset. So NEP focuses on growth mindset instead of rigid mindset or fixed mindset. And therefore, this NEP 2020, this holistic education and multidisciplinary make individual or student as a holistic human being, and also all-rounder. All-rounder, why all-rounder? Probably today's world demands many all-rounder than only specialist. So all-rounder in the sense, if somebody is all-rounder, such persons are more required in the corporate world because they can do many things, they can understand, they can connect, and they can also see the impact. If it is done this way, what is the impact? If it is done in that way, what is the impact? So those kind of impact you can see without doing means you can predict what kind of impact will come. So those are all the aspect of basically getting into this multidisciplinary and all-rounder. So, and today's corporate world, somebody is extremely specialist, but how to make use of the specialization to grow and for the growth of the society, then probably they have no answers or they are not performing well. So therefore, NEP 2020 impact on the society, impact on the business, impact on the policy, and impact on the whole world is very, very huge and large. I must say NEP 2020 is a gold standard. So NEP 2020, if we talk about entire world is looking our NEP document, and this NEP document provides a lot of, focus on developing a global citizenship. Basically you have to see the things from 360 degree. So that point of view, the NEP impact is big. And today, you see, people are talking about NEP, not only in India, outside India also people are talking about NEP because it has a larger impact, not only in India, but NEP is going to make an impact on the rest of the world. And probably I must say that from India to the world. NEP is a gift to the world, not only for India, because NEP 2020, if you are talking about Anusandhan, National Research Foundation, already Government of India has kept 60,000 crore rupees for Anusandhan, which is housed under Department of Science and Technology. Apart from ICSSR, it is an arm of Ministry of Education. Now, that 60,000 crore rupees for multidisciplinary research. And probably if we see today, India is in such a position, entire world is looking towards India. Why they are looking towards India? Because India has become center point of the globe. If you look at the India today, and India, if you observe since 1947 till 2007, India took 60 years to add 1 trillion economy. In 60 years, India added 1 trillion. But 2007 to 14, it took only 7 years to add 2 trillion. But 2014 to 20, it took only 6 years to add 3 trillion. But 2020 to 24 February, it took only 4 years to add 4 trillion. Now, International Monetary Fund predicted that India is going to be 5 trillion and third biggest economy in the world by 27-28. But India is going to make IMF prediction wrong first time, and India is going to achieve 5 trillion economy by 26-27, beating the Germany. Now India is fourth biggest. Now it is going to be a third biggest by 26-27. But what will happen after 26-27? 26-27, India will hit the 5 trillion. But after 26-27, every year or two, India is going to add 1 trillion. And this journey will continue, till Amrit Kal. That is 2047. Because if you see the demographic dividend, 2005 to 6, India started demographic dividend. Demographic dividend in simple language, layman's language is working people are more in number than the retired people. So now since 2005, demographic dividend started, it will continue up to 2055, 56. such a long period, India is going to be the young nation. Average age of the working population is 28 years. And therefore, 21st century belongs to India. And when 21st century belongs to India, means till 2061, India is going to remain as a young, vibrant, dynamic nation. And last 30 years, if you look at the GDP growth of the country, India is the only nation in the world, its GDP is more than 7% last 30 years. This is the only country in the world. So therefore, entire world is looking towards India as a center point of the. So India is now taking the leadership of the globe from China. China was the youngest nation 2015. Now India is going to lead the world. In this context, at this juncture, India is implementing national education policy. So you can look at that government of India is focusing on various schemes, and all those schemes are going to touch the space of the higher education, whether it is a digital India, whether it is a startup India, whether it is a stand up India, whether it is innovation India, whether it is a ease of doing business, whether it is a healthcare in Ayushman. You take many schemes, whether it is a particularly digital India, digital transformation, and probably if you see last month only UPI, it has touched 25 billion in per month transactions. Earlier it was 17 billion. So it speaks a lot about digital transformation. India is making the magic. Entire world is looking towards India to learn from digital. Till date, India was the biggest user of technology, but now India is not only user of technology, India is also going to be a biggest producer of technology. In digital space, India is producing a lot of technology. So in this disruptive world, India is going to disrupt the world. And at that time, we are implementing NEP. NEP is also boosting a disruption because today there is only one way, either disrupt others or get disrupted by others. So NEP and the government policies both together basically making a magic, and therefore India is going to be a different India than the 10-year, 20-year, 30-year back. So in this context, NEP, if you look into that, many undergraduate program, government has come out with the, as a part of NEP, National Credit Framework. Government has also come out with, one is a credit framework, and government also has come out with the, national curriculum framework. And what kind of three important content they mentioned about the theory, skill, and experiential learning. When we teach our students, these three components are important in pedagogy. One is about the theory, because theory precedes the practice. And second is a skilling area. Skill is important when you go for practice. And the third one is experiential learning. Experiential learning or project-based learning or phenomena-based learning, it is called as a PBL. So this basically make individual as a philosopher or growth mindset. So these three components as a part of NEP, that teaching has already started. Many of the institutions, if you take a normal distribution curve for implementation of NEP, those who are on this side of those who are early mover for implementation of NEP, they already started a theory, skilling, and experiential learning, and life skills and ability skills. All those areas they are working and they are introduced. And this is one part. And second one, 3-year undergraduate to 4-year, up to 3-year, it is a traditional way. 4th year is one is more focused on research. And similarly, then if you look at the curriculum for MBA, for masters as well as PhD level, and integration program, number of programs, integrated programs with the undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD, all integration are partially, and that scheme is also there. And people can take the admission, they can leave anytime, they can join anytime. Of course, there is a period anytime, means it's not open check. But those kind of flexibility, making everybody basically whatever they want to pursue, that agility, that flexibility has given. And similarly, if you look at the the primary and higher education space, I train CBSE principals, Navodaya Vidyalaya principals for leadership, at my institute, and similarly vice chancellors and the directors at higher education space. So if you look at the NEP, the six standard armored vocational courses are taught. Now, vocational courses, six standard onwards, anybody after 10th or 11th wants to join based on the vocational courses. For example, somebody has, wants to, after 10th or 12th, wants to get into the job. Now, probably one vocational course may be given to that boy or girl is a digital literacy, how to fulfill certain compliances, or how to do the, after 10th or 12th, how to, in the forest area, for example, I'm sitting here in Nagpur, in Tadoba is nearby, you can be a guide and you can showcase the entire forest as a guide. So those kind of small one is digital literacy and guide. And today, a temple economy is the biggest economy in the country. Probably, if you go to many places, it is difficult to get darshan in a short time because there is a huge rush. So it is the biggest economy there. How to be a guide in those temples? And even as a priest, for all Sanskrit, Mantra Patan and all. So those are all areas, they are all part of the skilling area. And as a part of NEP, the All India Council for Technical Education and University Grad Commission, both the places I was the committee member, and mini and micro credential courses have been introduced. Many courses and micro credential courses have been introduced by the colleges and higher education, and National Council for Vocational Education and Training, which is also a body for approval of the approval of the vocational courses. They also introduced the courses, and also Government of India first time allowed MNCs and the premier companies in India, they can also start the skilling courses. And the students from any colleges, university can take those courses and credits are transferred to their graduation and post-graduation. So it means not only you have to study in your own college, you can take a course from L&T, EduTech or Larsen and Toubro, or you take a course from Infosys or TCS, and that credit is transferred to, university wherever you are studying, and that credit is adjusted. So that kind of play, because practical knowledge, a skilling vocational education through vocational college, students can get wherever they are there, or they can go to the place where they like and they can take a course, it can be transferred. Now, as a part of NEP 2020, the agility, the flexibility is given such an extent that you can take a courses from 5 to 10 universities and you can take a degree from one place. So, and what degree you will get depending upon the what kind of courses you have taken, accordingly degree is awarded. So this kind of flexibility is given, and you know that any person going to different places and taking the courses and putting together and getting degree where large number of courses are taken from that one university out of so many, the degree is given. But here the purpose is a person understand each university has its own culture. Each university, for example, if we talk about IIT, a different kind of culture. If you look at central university culture is different, state university is different. Some colleges it is different. Again, government college, private college, deemed universities, the cultures are different. A person going and studying different places, he understands the multi-culture. How to respect the cultures in different places. So all those things a person can understand, and probably his domain knowledge may not be as so special in somebody studying in one university, but his knowledge of art, how to deal with the different cultures smoothly, systematically, how to get the result and objectives, that is possible. That is the impact of NEP 22. I'll give a simple example today. Today, if you talk about America, in America, all billionaires, highest number of billionaires are Indians, and in Silicon Valley of America. And if you see all the top-notch universities recently, Recently, Chennai-born professor has announced as a head of the MIT. Harvard Dean is again, Srikant Datar is from Mumbai. So like that, all the top universities in America, they're all Indians and the toppers are Indians. So this clearly Indians are doing extremely well or they are doing excellent in America. The only one reason for that is because they are living with the culture. Because they carry from India to America Indian culture, Indian ethos. So because of Indian ethos, people are billionaires belongs to India and even top 25 companies in America, all those top 25 companies serial number rank number 1 to 25, they are all Indians. Whether it is a Microsoft, whether it is a Google, whether it is a Deloitte, you take any company, top companies, whether it is even FedEx, so Subramaniam. So all those people are Indians. The reason is Indians in America, they are leading because of Indian ethos. And NEP 2020 is founded on IKS. IKS means indigenous or Indian knowledge system. So the larger part of Indian knowledge system is talking about our tradition and our culture. So therefore, Indian, when they go abroad, they are more conscious about culture. So therefore, NEP 2020 promoting IKS, and IKS is a fundamental for any human being, not only Indians, but people anywhere in the world. And that is where the IKS basically it is from India to the world, I must say. In America, I was there sometime back. I was there in 2015. I was there in Virginia, and I stayed 4 5 days in Virginia. One of my friend from Hyderabad who running a consultancy firm, Mr. Chandra there. So I stayed with him 4 5 days, and he shown that sir, this entire 100 flats are there, 85 flats, people from Andhra, combined Andhra Delhi, and he took us 5 bedroom kitchen, and he told the people out of 185 families are from Andhra Pradesh. And he told that we have a Telugu teacher. They brought Telugu teacher from India. They brought Kuchipudi dancer from India. They brought Bharatanatyam dancer from India to teach. And they also brought some of the traditional way festivals, whether it is Diwali, whether it is, all those Holi, all those Indian festivals, they celebrate together. So that is a holistic human being, that what we are talking about, holistic education. So all these things he shown, and his daughter, she was fluent in Telugu, reading, writing, speaking. She was a great dancer. So all the people there, probably I said, Chandra, if you would have been in Hyderabad, your daughter would not have studied Telugu, she would have studied in convent, English medium. So what I want to say is once people leave India, far away from India, they are more conscious about Indian tradition and culture, and that is what it has taken Indian top of the top in America. And I always say when 2013 I was in Mauritius, I always say real India I can see in Mauritius than in India. Because in India we take everything granted, whether it's a festival, whether it's a tradition, all we take it granted, and therefore we don't follow the rituals, we don't follow the our culture, we try to deviate. And therefore, Indians in India now, as a part of NEP 2020, NEP 2020, it is founded on IKS. Now, as a part of NEP, now it is extremely important as a part of NEP. Everybody is now going back to the roots. Today all of you know that the going to root is extremely important. And in this highly connected world, we connected with Facebook, LinkedIn, our mobiles all over the world, but we disconnected with our tradition. We disconnected with our culture. We are disconnected with in our families. From where we have come, if you ask, probably one or two generations beyond, it is difficult to say. So we are disconnected with the roots. And if you see the tree, if you cut the root of the tree from the bottom below the ground, tree will dry within no time. Same thing is happening in different part of the world because we are disconnecting with the IKS, we are disconnecting with our roots and tradition and ethos, and that is where the problem is there. And NEP is the biggest powerful solution how to connect back to the roots, how to connect back to the culture and traditions. So today it is a technological era. This 21st century belongs to technology. 21st century belongs to India, and also 21st century belongs to the Indian tradition. Look at Indian tradition means today there is only one way going forward and making the world as a beautiful world is tradition with technology. One T is tradition, another T is technology. Bringing these two together, we can make a magic in the world and we can change the world. And that is where everybody is looking towards India. And therefore, Government of India has given a special focus on IAS as a part of it. And impact, probably, if you see, government has come out with the three language formula. Three language. We are government is promoting our local. Mother tongue is one of the important focus. Government is promoting as a part of NEP, whether it is Marathi, Hindi, English, and all the very different states, because our best of the best ideas, innovation, solution always come to your mind, and you can speak only in your own mother tongue. Probably English, you have to find out what is the word for that. Probably other language you can find, but when it comes to Marathi, within no time I can speak. When you are sleeping, if somebody sprinkle the hot water on your face, then he will speak Marathi, will not speak Hindi or English, because that is a natural language which is basically resonates with the nature. And in Indian tradition, we talk about Prakriti is one. But if you go by the Western side, they talk about, they divide the Prakriti. So we talk about whole world is one family. G20, we already celebrated G20. Whole world is one family. One family, one earth. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. But if you go by the Western side, they divide, they split it, and they optimize at local level. Similarly, if you look at the IKS importance, this IKS, we are probably, if you see the thing in holistically, if you see things together, probably you look at the impact. So therefore, the time has come, the IKS based education, that is nothing but National Education Policy. So and traditionally it was fruitful. And if you see the best of the best result, the way Jizamata taught Shivaji, through Ramayana, Mahabharata, values Indian ethos, basically spiritual, ethical, moral, and civic values were taught, not in schools, but in house, joint families. Dada Kondev not only taught how to fight a war, but he also gave our a system. He also made, great king of the world, Chhatrapati Shivaji. So all those things basically, they are all basically connecting with the roots, connecting with the traditions. So therefore, NEP focus on tradition, and probably if you see this all many such examples, if you talk about again, Ahilyabai Holkar 300 birth anniversary, we celebrated recently. She was one of the great, not only great queen of Malwa, but she was the one, not only in her kingdom, entire country, she has spent her own CSR money, not only from her kingdom, but her own CSR money spent, building a temple in Varanasi, in south and north, different part of the country, out go crossing the boundary of her kingdom. she was the first one introduced, CSR, what CSR. Today, people coined the term CSR, but without knowing CSR, it is done, and Jamshedji Tata did. So these are all basically, important things as a part of IKS and how to build a strong foundation for a great human being. Because entire world is for the purpose of development of people. But today, from development of people, we have moved away from development of people and we are moving towards the materialistic goal. We are moving towards the targets, not the people development. NEP focuses on how to develop the holistic human being through multidisciplinary and, and the holistic education. So therefore, the impact of NEP on mankind, not only Indians, it is going to be the gift from India to the world, how to, mankind should live on this planet. And also when sustainable development goals is also mentioned, and probably, till now, we have only selfish interest, we have consumed all the natural resources, particularly those five developed nations, 80% of the West in this world created by, countries like US, Japan, Germany, UK, France, all those countries. And today, after creating a problem, they came out with the term called sustainability. They came out with the term called ESG. Now, and they are the one who created the problem, ozone, crack and all those things, climate change, all those issues, because those who not follow the tradition, they created a problem. In India, historically, even if you go by our forefathers, even till today, if you go to the Adivasi area or if you go to the small villages, their people, even though they have ample water, they don't waste the water. They believe in zero wastage. They believe in net zero. Today we coined the term net zero. But in India, traditionally we follow, unnecessary wastage, unnecessary consumption of energy. All those things historically we believe in sustainability. And therefore, our tradition, and in Indian tradition, cooperation has been mantra in our Indian ethos. Now, competition was brought by the UK, brought by the Western world. And today in urban, we compete each other and we don't know who is the next in my flat. But in village, if you go, entire village is the one they celebrate. So that is the difference between Bharat and India. So therefore, NEP talks about how to bring back all those concepts, all those mindsets, so that we can build a great human being in India and from India to the world. October 2024, I was in Tokyo. I led the Indian delegation to Japan in ISO standard. And when I was there, I was talking to the biggest builder of the Japan. I asked, what are the problems in Japan? He said, we are aging nation. 49 is the average age. India is at 28. So we are aging nation. We have acute shortage of plumbers. We have acute shortage of nurses. So he was telling only problem and problem and problem in Japan. Once upon a time, super economy, 85 to 90, 80 to 95, 15-year ruled the world, and today that country is the aging nation, and they don't have skilled manpower. And if you look at India, government of India came out with the Ministry of Skill and Entrepreneurship. I told him, India, we have almost every seal one ITIs, and we have so many skill centers. So I said we train our Indians in Japanese language, and our Indians are best in skilling, and we can support Japan, sending our skilled people, whether it is the nurses, whether it is the plumbers, whether it is the repair of AC, all those people from India to the Japan, the friendly nation, one can go ahead. So today, India 1.4 billion population, I think it is not only this 1.4 serving the nation, but 1.4 billion population is also from India to the world. So Indians are going to be everywhere to serve the other countries like Japan, now looking towards India for skilled manpower in all those areas. And not only a skilled manpower in the different categories, but even very high level. I am Nagpur also. We are introducing Japanese course. We are introducing Germany, and we are introducing Korean courses, so students can move from India to the other part and they serve those nations. So there was a time UK people were everywhere. That was the time. Probably in coming century, Indians are going to be everywhere as a part of NEP, because NEP purpose is not only serve the nation. That is why from citizenship of India now in NEP talks about global citizenship. NEP talks about the planet, because already 1.75 times of natural resources we have consumed, particularly those developed nations. Now India is going to be a developed nation in Amrut Kal 2047. India is going to be a developed nation. As I told, 2026 to 27, we are going to be a 5 trillion and number third biggest economy after America and, yeah, China. But there onwards, we are adding every year 1 or 2 trillion, and probably 2040, 45, before 47, India will become a developed nation. Developed nation in the sense India is going to add 35 to 40 trillion economy. From 5 next year, it is going to be 35 to 40 trillion. It means per capita today, per capita income is about 3,000 US dollar. And when India will become Viksit Bharat, India will become developed nation, at that time, our per capita income is going to be 15 to 18,000 dollars. And at that time, entire world is looking towards India. And therefore, the NEP is the foundation for Indian leadership during the Amrit Kaal. Coming 25 years are going to be a golden year for India, and NEP is going to act as the accelerator. NEP is going to act as a catalyst to take India to the next orbit. So therefore, the NEP impacts are tremendous, enormous. Probably we can't say, intangible words, but it is going to not only transform individual, but it is going to transform entire mankind in the world. So therefore, this NEP 2020 is going to play a very, very significant role in each one of us life. Probably you might have seen in the corporate world also, people say first generation build, second maintain, third destroy. In the corporate world. And you have many examples. Probably look at Usha fan, it was a popular first generation, second generation disappeared. We don't know. Forget about third generation. Because they disconnected with the roots and disconnected with the traditions. So NEP 2020 is all about connecting the dots and live as a one family, and also Prakriti is one. So entire universe is one. It's not divided. So that is the main mantra of NEP 2020. And I am sure Maharashtra is one of the leading state for implementation of NEP. And I think a lot of development and lot of push as well as inspiration. Government of Maharashtra is pushing from different universities going for accreditation as well as implementation of NEP. And as a part of NEP, probably there is going to be a transformation in National Assessment Council, and there is going to be a transformation in in entire regulatory framework. Now Higher Education Commission of India probably may come very soon, and AICT, UGC, NBA, NAC, National Council for Teacher Education, and all those 4 5 together, there is going to be one big umbrella body called Higher Education Commission of India. And once it comes, a formalization of all NEP schemes, till now all people have implemented low hanging fruits, and some more improvement as a part of NEP is going to take place. And NEP is not an end in itself, it is a journey. NEP is a journey, and journey will continue, because implementation of NEP is a journey, and in this technological world, disruptive world, we keep on enhancing, improving, and this national education policy will, as a part of any institution implementing national education policy in toto, in spirit and letters. And I must say that we can produce a student as a change master to lead the unknown roles in unborn country. And that is when I must say that we have done our job. Basically, producing the change master who can lead the unknown role in unborn companies. Because in every 4 5 years, probably what is going to come next, nobody knows. AI has come, 3D printing has come. I was in L&T 16. Now L&T used to build, buildings and all. Now L&T is printing the houses. In 8 hours, L&T built 2 bedroom kitchen in L&T prints, not building. The word is printing. They're printing the houses in them, and car is probably now printed instead of 14,000 components making one car. So entire world is changing in such a way that probably house we are buying houses in Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur kind of places. Probably house on wheel will come into picture. We have to lease the land and tip the house from one place to other place. And probably you need not to buy a house, you can lease the land. Probably businesses will move on shift. You can build the businesses where there is a customer, you can move your business to shift. So all those kind of changes are going to come, and AI has taken the brain power of the man. Till now, automation only replaced the people, but now AI is a brain power. So AI is basically co-creating the things along with us in a minute. Probably in education sector, I was in Bangalore last week, and I was talking to Mr. Parsuraman, who are executive vice president of earlier former executive vice president of Vikram Kirloskar company. We are sitting together and talking in our tail. So there he was showing on his mobile and single kicks is undergraduate level students are test 50 questions, 4 options, and I need 50 questions. He just clicked within 10 seconds, 50 options, questions came into picture. What level you are asking questions, it creates everything. That is a power of artificial intelligence. And India is the big factory of the big data. India is the factory of the big data, and entire world is looking towards India for R&D. Till now, people used to go to America, Europe for R&D. Now they are going to live in history. India is going to create a history. That is why I said 21st century belongs to India, and NEP is going to be the biggest. So big data is with us, 1.4 billion population, large number of aims and medicals and patients. This population is when I was studying, it was a problem to the country and world. Now the biggest population is the beneficial for not only India, for the world, because we have big data and machine learning. Unless until you train the machine to get the best result, so that data is required, and India is a factory of data, and people are shifting from Silicon Valley of America to Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore, to set up their R&D factory. Probably in coming 40, 50 years, biggest R&D houses are going to be in India. And therefore, Anusandhan as a research foundation is going to play a very, very significant role to transform the education and to connect education to 5 important stakeholders: the society, the businesses, the government, policy making, and community. So these 5 areas, the education is benefiting all the important 5 stakeholders, and that is what holistic human being is all about. And in this case, while teaching the students, we should not, even one course, it's not they will study the multiple courses, but students also in one course, we will be giving a multiple perspective. Multiple perspective, same course, we have to see from angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, how to, various objectives can be covered in different perspectives so that we can make them all-rounder. And that is what in real sense, NEP 2020 is the biggest, I must say, powerful tool is for India and transforming India and Indian education, and also to the rest of the world. So with this, I'll stop here. If you have any questions, I will take a questions. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. I think it was a fascinating session. It threw a lot of insight into the contribution of NEP 2020 in building up the future India, not only the future India, but the future India for the future of the world. And it was a very, very interesting and important thing that NEP is actually more than outside in. It could be an inside out concept also. That means we can take the NEP to the world. I think so NEP debated today, NEP looked revered today, NEP discussed today in many parts of the world. I think that's a very, very important thing which you told. And the concept of multidisciplinary education, the liberal education, developing both parts of the minds. I think it was a fascinating exposition, Dr. Bhimraya. We are really grateful to you. Thank you very much. Now the floor is open for a few question answer. People can unmute themselves, talk about the name, and if you can throw the question. Be quick, please.
Sir,
Anybody can start.
I'm Manjula, and I'm an independent social entrepreneur in textiles and development sector, working with the community. Now, my question is that, what is the scope of individuals like us, freelancers? Is there any age bar, or what could be the entry point? Professor Sengupta also can guide, and like that, does the NEP has, because when I'm listening to all this, I'm getting very excited that there is some future and there is some scope for people like me to be a part of it. So, what kind of a scope it is?
Yeah, thank you, Manjulaji. You see, NEP 2020 is for everybody. It is an inclusionist. I said out of 9 model inclusionist, nobody left out. That is also one of the important aspects in NEP. For example, earlier days, somebody after 10th, goes to ITI, complete the ITI, there is no opportunity to move to the next level.
Mm.
That is the end of the education. And today it is no more true in NEP. After ITI, this person can, after having a few years of experience, 10, 15 years of experience, he develop the skill. And if he undergo the test and straightway he can go to the undergraduate or postgraduate if he pass that test. So somebody has never gone to school, but he's an expert. He's working in an area, he's the entrepreneur, he's doing it, if he does the test, and a different level of tests are there, he undergo that test and he can straightway go for the graduation. So those are all the multiple entry, multiple exit, and even upper ID has come very recently. So those are all the benefits. Anybody has capability, competency, they are considered irrespective of what background we have. So today, for example, I am a civil engineer. By qualification, I am civil engineer, but I'm heading the practicing side. I'm a management. I'm heading the management institution. Otherwise, I never studied in. So NEP is all about what competency you have. There are two things: earlier knowledge, skill, competency. These three used to see earlier knowledge alone. Then we started looking at the skill and competency, knowledge and competency, and now we are looking at the capability. What capability each one of you have, that is considered recognized in NEP irrespective of what background of education. This is the biggest gift of NEP to the every individual, every citizen of India.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, very much. Next question. Please unmute yourself. Any next question?
Uh, I have a question. Uh,
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Hema,
Yeah.
I have a question, sir. Since it is inclusive, as you said, uh, what will be the method of including the villagers? I mean, you said competency is important, capability, but how exactly we reach out to these people? Identification, either awareness is required. In what way we will be doing this? There may be an excellent child in a village with a competency.
Right.
How it comes here?
Okay, ma'am, Himaji, you see, you all know that our former ISRO chairman, he is a graduate of Kolam Engineering. I used to train all engineering college principals. World Bank recognized 250. His college was not in the list because it was not that a great college. So, but he headed and he set the new benchmark in darker side of the moon and in Chandrayaan. And today, last week only, he was announced as a chancellor of Chanakya University in Bangalore. So he's coming from a small engineering college, small place. So if you are talk about I am from Sangli district, just a small village. My parents never gone to school, son of farmer. and studied at Jilla Parishad School, and I am here. At that time, facility was not there, but today, if you look at today, there is a Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, PMGSY. Every village should have one Pakka road. That was the dream of then Prime Minister Vajpayee. So connectivity brought to provide urban facility to rural. Then Prime Minister Vajpayee 98 started PMGSY before NEP, and three reasons: one for school for children, hospital for women and children, and agriculture market for farming. That was started, and connectivity came into picture. Now, as a part of digital transformation, probably you might be knowing government has come out with the ODL, Open and Distance Learning Schools. Government has come out with the open universities. People at the grassroots level, village, those who can't afford to going to the cities and studying, for them, there are going to be the open universities and schools, and also skilling. Every district level, skills have been built. For example, 2 years back, a Sankalp Mahatma Fellowship Program, government initiated in every district of Maharashtra and Nagpur, mentored one fellow so that to develop the skilling in that area, including Tehsil and all. Similarly, Sikkim we did. So there are many schemes, Government of India, how to include the people, and probably might be knowing earlier, ITIs used to be in district, now every Tehsil, there are ITIs and private ITIs our government is planning, and the digital education is going from urban to rural. Now the gap between urban and rural, it is getting. I'm not saying it has already closed. It is getting close. So therefore, these all facilities, all the schemes, today, Atal Twinkle Lab probably might be knowing, because the research, somebody has said, research mindset has to be built at the school level. Atal Twinkle Lab has been announced, the government of India, and now many more Atal Twinkle Labs are going to come, because I'm Nagpur trains all as a part of NEP. NCERT books are being developed as a part of NEP, and those have been trained in IIM Nagpur. IIM Nagpur has been selected by the Government of India to train them. The Secretary, Primary Education and Literacy, he was here. He said there are going to be many more adult clinical labs. In most of the schools, they are going to come to inculcate research mindset, irrespective of their background. And I know the Vidyalaya probably they are all for the rural students. Basically, the kids going to know the Vidyalaya, they are either farmers or laborers kids, they are joining that. So Navodaya is not less than, probably if you see the result of Navodaya, the toppers are from Navodaya. Navodaya results are better than Kendriya Vidyalaya, urban if you compare. So those kind of facilities are already government started providing, and they are also boosting, and other clinical labs are coming. So slowly the urban to rural, that gap is getting bridged. The bridge is, the building bridge is happening, and inclusiveness, definitely it has started. And probably if you know that last year, our Honorable Finance Minister announced Agri-Tech. Rural entrepreneurs, nano entrepreneurs. I am Nagpur, we have Atal Innovation Center. We are set up in Wardha, Wardhini, create awareness, and we are set up in Gondia, we are set up in Bandara, we are set up in Gadchiroli, Chandrapur. It is not a mandate of I am Nagpur, but we are going to all rural part, and I am a son of farmer. How to give benefit of this government to the people, nano entrepreneurs, those who, where they can employ 10 to 5 people. That is a nano entrepreneur, mini entrepreneur, micro entrepreneurs. So we are developing in the rural area. This is the part of inclusion. Startup India Seed Fund, we got, 5 crores the first time, 15 entrepreneurs we developed, and highest funding 50 lakh and lowest 13 lakh. This time again, Startup India Seed Fund, we are focusing on rural part as a part of, our Prime Minister's vision is, unless until you improve the rural economy, we cannot be the leader of the globe. So in that sense, we are focusing on rural, and we are promoting rural economy through Startup India Seed Fund of Department of Science and Technology. DIIP, Ministry of Commerce has funded us. Ministry of Electronics and IT, again, they have Genesis funding to develop the entrepreneurs and promote the people. Somebody, people, those don't have any employment, they start something, tea stall and all. We are supporting, we are promoting them to, how to do the compliance, how to put the GST and how to enhance their business, how to improve the income. So hand holding and mentoring kind of things are happening to promote nano entrepreneurs. These are all happening at different level and different part of the country. So as a part of intelligence.
Thank you for such a detailed explanation. I'm very happy, sir.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank you very much. We'll take a last question if there
So,
anything.
yeah, I have a question, please.
Please go ahead. Please.
So our university is in rural part of India, that's in Rewari. And when I come to Delhi, there's a complete. So how can the research remove this gap? That means how can Bharat be combined together with the village as well as the urban Bharat come together through research? Though we have fourth year degree of research, but application based research we actually need to and to build the right narrative of India. I find a huge gap. The 100 kilometers, there's a huge gap in thoughts. There's a huge gap in. So how would NEP help in building that kind of a research environment?
No, I think NEP is basically it is urban to rural. It is indirectly playing a role. There is no direct role of NEP to bridge the gap. But to bridge the gap, there are different schemes of Government of India, Digital India scheme. Every primary school teachers have been trained in computer literacy and computer has been provided. Most of the state governments, there is a scheme, the computer, they have been provided, teachers have been trained. Students can also see the computer using all those things, it is happening. So there are different schemes of Government of India. Through that, they are bridging the gap, but NEP is helping indirectly, not directly, but bridging the gap. For example, I tell you here, there are many NGOs. They are directly working to bridge the gap with various villages. There are all kinds of NGOs, but there are many best NGOs, and they are working for all kinds of. For example, I am Nagpur. We have one course called PMP, Professional Management Practice. So it is a unique course. It is a very demanding course. Every students, they have to go to 2 days rural part of the India. We connected with NGO, and their NGO is, there are 160 centers. We take different centers. One center, our NGO has put up the, there are 15 farmers. There are 15 buffaloes. Instead of selling the milk, what he did is he put the paneer making machine. They all put the milk into the machine and they raise the bar. And he also provided self-help group. The family members of the farmer, they will make up pickles. And the students, some of the students are very artistic. They make a very beautiful picture, and he will put a frame and glass. He will sell it. How to add the income to the farmers? There we take our students. I am Nagpur students. Go there. We show all those things, and they also see that how son of the farmer, daughter of the farmer, 3 4 year old kid walking barefoot in a hot sun 12:30. They all see all those things. Otherwise, many times urban people don't understand the ground realities. They seeing all those things, first of all, one is they naked eye, they see what real India is. That program, I call it as a Bharat Darshan program. We call it as a Bharat Darshan program. And once it is all shown, then we give the project to our students. We say that you are cream of the society. You are, out of 3 lakh, odd 3 lakh 30,000 students appear per cat only. All 21 and together we take about 5 to 6,000 students. So you are cream of the society, less than 1%. Now, how to raise the bar for farmers 5 to 10 times? We give the challenging work to them and they will give the solution. So this is the way we are connecting, because future belongs to rural India. गांव की तरफ चलो ये मुहिम आने वाला है. It has not come, but it is going to come. In city we are seeing multi-story concrete jungle. Probably in future, multi-story farms are going to come. For example, the a small vegetable, it can be 8th or 9th story vegetables. You can grow small vegetables, gajar, all those kind of things, brinjal and all. and big trees can be bottom. So you can have multi-story agriculture, and future is going to be great for the rural India. And they're not only closing the gap, probably people will prefer to rural India over the urban, because there is a time for everything. Gil ke baad valley, valley ke baad gil aata hi hai. So that is going to happen, and not only bridging the gap, but the golden days are going to be in villages. So this is all about a function of time. It is time to time things will change, and accordingly things will come. But what I want to say is, this is, you see, anything, everything, there are any extremities will not be there. Always things keep on changing according to the time. But I am sure lot of initiatives from Government of India, Government of Maharashtra, for example, for women development, there is a separate bank for women, self-help group. Government of Maharashtra has built. I am NAGPUR is working. One product and one district, one product. I am commissioner of Maharashtra is working with government of, I am Nagpur. So different, Dharavai and different places, different crops are there. So many areas we are working how to support, how to, raise the bar and close the, gap. So it is a continuous process. And all of you know that Rome is not built in night. Rome is not built in overnight. It takes its own time, but definitely the golden days are going to come in some point of time from now.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very much,
much.
Doc.
Thank you very much, Dr. Metri. I think we are already much beyond the schedule. Thanks a lot for everybody. May I request Dr. Padwal, Treasurer of ISTD Islam, to kindly give a formal vote of thanks with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. May I audible, sir?
Yeah, please, please.
Yes. On behalf of the ISTD Navi Mumbai chapter and Islampur chapter, I am deeply honored to deliver the vote of thanks for this insightful and enriching webinar. First and foremost, I extend my deepest appreciation to our esteemed resource person, Honorable Director Dr. Bhimraya Metri, Director of IIM Nagpur. Thank you for taking the time to share your knowledge and wisdom with us. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. May I audible, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. A.K. Sen Gupta, founder and convener of the Higher Education Forum and director of SIES School of Learning and Leadership Development, who is the main organizer of this program and webinar. We are immensely grateful to the ISTD Navi Mumbai chapter for their efforts in organizing this webinar. A special thanks to Ms. Vaishali Patil, who is the chairperson, and Mr. Anshul Sharma, vice chairman, and Dr. Kuldeep Bhalirao, secretary of ISTD Navi Mumbai chapter, for their work and meticulous planning that ensured the execution of this webinar. I also thankful to newly joined member of ISTD Islampur chapter, Honorable Director Dr. Rajesh Kante sir, Bharati Vidyapit Institute of Management Kolhapur, and Professor Dr. Vaibhav Desai ma'am from the same institute for participating in this webinar. I express my gratitude to Honorable Director Dr. P.V. Kadole, Rajarambapu Institute of Technology, and Chairperson of this ISTD Islampur chapter for continuous support for organizing such webinar and events. I am thankful to Dr. K.S. Patil sir, who is the chairperson, and Professor S.S. Karanskar sir, Secretary of ISTD Islampur chapter, for their efforts for making this webinar successful. I would also like to acknowledge all the participants who joined us today. Your active engagement and made this session truly interactive and meaningful. Thank you, one and all. With the permission of all dignitaries, I would like to conclude this webinar is over. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Good
Thank
night,
you,
all.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
sir.
Good night. Metri sir, good night, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you, Metri sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.